So, good afternoon, my dear friends. Uh, it's been a while. We went live, and I just decided that it would be a good idea we hold some discussions on different types of real estate investments, as well as have some question and answers on real estate uh, issues that might be bothering you. I'm actually supposed to be out for a site inspection today, but it's been raining. It's been raining cats and dogs from morning till this time we're talking in Abuja. If you're in Abuja, you'll be able to testify that. So it's been raining, and I've been indoors doing a one or two. So I decided for us to hold these live sessions so we'll be able to discuss and talk about different types of real estate investment. We can never stop talking about real estate. It's real estate, real estate, real estate. And I just thought of doing a live session so that we can, cater for your questions and be able to answer them during the live session. So irrespective of the fact that we're talking about types of real estate investments on this live session, you can as well ask any question that is bothering you on real estate investment. We'll be able to handle it. So also do well to follow my profile and my page, God's Will Open on Mercy, and also my page, Even at Real Estate, so that we'll be able to connect more and talk about different types of real estate investment. I can see joining us Sonia, Adadiorama Clems, Adadiorama 1. You are welcome to this live session. So, just like I said, we will be talking about types of real estate investments, and we'll also be having some question and answers during this live session. You can also share and invite your friends to join us. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. So we're looking at different types of real estate investment. Of course, you know that real estate is one of the essential commodities in life. Why did I say real estate as a general? Because real estate encompasses everything that is done on land, both land, housing, and other aspects, even agriculture. Without real estate, man can hardly survive. It has been proven that shelter is one of the most basic needs of man on earth. Once you join us, do well to indicate so that we'll be able to welcome you. You can also ask your questions. You can invite your friends. Okay. So it has been proven that among the psychological needs of man, shelter is one of them. It's one of the basic needs of human beings on earth. A man cannot survive without food, without sleep, without clothing, without air, then without shelter. Of course, you have to sleep inside a shelter. So shelter is one of the most basic needs of human being, and that's where real estate comes in. So everything you do on land involves real estate. So, but now we're going to look at different types of real estate investments. So real estate can be categorized into different types, based on the risk associated with it, strategies, and even the returns they generate. However, we're just going to look at the main or the major types of real estate investments that people do. First of all, the basic one or the closest one that people do or people go into is residential real estate. Residential real estate. When you talk about residential real estate, you're talking about purchasing, house for family use, for a living purpose, for residential purpose. It could be a single house purchase. It could be a multiple family property for different occupation of different family members. It could be for vacation. It could be for house flipping. So people buy residential real estate for living and also to be able to earn income, maybe rental income from it. So residential real estate is one major aspect of real estate investment. It's either you are buying it for living, or you are buying it for rent, or you're even buying it for Airbnb, or you're buying it to resell, to develop and resell or flip. Some people also buy that kind of real estate and remodel it or renovate. So that is residential real estate investment, investing in houses for residential purposes. Then the second major type of real estate investment is commercial real estate investment. Commercial real estate investment. Commercial real estate investment includes investing in buildings that are used for offices, office building investment, investing in office spaces that are leased to businesses. Most times you invest in all those kind of areas that are designated commercial. It's either a public building or a building that is set aside to house different offices. So what you do is that either you buy it or you build it and you now rent it or lease it to individuals that will use it for office spaces. Then there is also under commercial real estate, there are different things that can be done even on the commercial real estate. If it's not a building, maybe it's land. It could be for building of commercial purposes called like market, filling station, even industrial property can be there. It still comes under commercial real estate investment. So, but what it means is that this type of real estate, people are not going to stay there. People are not going to live there. It's not for living purposes. It's basically for conducting businesses. And you know that businesses are actually of different types. Some of them could just be normal office spaces. Some of them are retail stores. Some of them are industrial purposes. Some of them are gas stations. Then I also want to say that even in these residential commercial real estate investment, some of them actually come with mixed use development. That is why you see that some buildings would have residential apartments in it and also have office spaces being rented on it. So that kind of investment, that kind of land comes as what we call mixed use development. Whereas the first one, residential real estate investment, only comes with residential purposes. This commercial can come as only commercial or just come as mixed use. Kandi Ekenoyama, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. I hope you'll be able to learn one or two from this. So we've talked about real estate investment. We are talking about different types of real estate investment. We've talked about, we've briefly looked at residential real estate investments. We also looked at commercial real estate investments. And mentioning here, we said they are basically for office buildings and commercial purposes, for business, for transacting businesses. And we just mentioned that here too, you can have mixed use development. Majorly, that's why you have some buildings that have residential apartments in it and also have spaces where they conduct businesses. Then another major type of real estate investment is called REITs. REIT, REITs. The full meaning is Real Estate Investment Trust. Real Estate Investment Trust. So REITs own and operate income producing real estate such as apartments, office buildings, shopping complex, and hotels. Investors earn dividends from the rental income and potential appreciation of the property. So let me explain how REITs happen. REITs is a kind of investment trust that is put together. So instead of you as an individual investing in a building or buying a building or building a building as a person, you may not have all the money. So a company that is registered and certified by Securities and Exchange Commission will float what we call real estate investment trust. It's just like shares, like the way normal companies buy shares or sell shares. So you buy portions of those real estate investment trust, depending on how they are selling. When you buy, they have a pool of funds bought by different people, and they now invest in property on your behalf. You are not paying for it directly. You are now investing in the company by buying bundles of trust. So they collectively, with the money generated, invest in residential apartments, office buildings, shopping complex, hotels, as the case may be. But they will invest in real estate opportunities that will definitely give them good returns on investment. So as they invest, they make money either from rental income or from the commercial purposes or whatever income that is coming from the investment they did. So you as an investor or as a shareholder, what you will now be earning is dividend. You are now earning dividend as part of profit sharing from the return on investment they made or from the property appreciation over time. REITs are always approved by Securities and Exchange Commission because it's being sold like shares. So it's being sold to the public. So even you as a human, as a particular, as an individual, if you don't have the money to buy a full building or a full hotel, you can invest in REITs. It's another way of investing in real estate. So you know that you receive dividend at the end of the year based on the amount you invested. So that's another part of real estate investment. There is also another one, even though it's not common in our climate, but in advanced countries, it has always been there. Real estate crowdfunding is another way of investing in real estate or another way of real estate investment. It's more or less like REIT, but this time it's called crowdfunding. People float, investors pool funds together to buy equity in a particular estate. Then they make their returns, just like REITs. They make their returns from property acquisition or from their rental income or eventual sale of that property. Investors just float it like private investments. Crowdfunding may not necessarily pass through Securities and Exchange Commission because it's invariably floated by individuals. They might just gather a group of friends. They will just come together and do it, on their own. Not really like a certified investment from SEC. So you need to know the difference. But for you to float a REIT, it must be a registered company, and that REIT must be approved by Securities and Exchange Commission. So another type of investment you can go into in real estate is real estate partnerships, popularly known as joint ventures. Joint venture is, of course, just the way the name applies. It's just like every other joint venture business that you pool funds together where one or two individuals or corporations come together to pool resources to develop a particular property. So what it means is that maybe one person has ownership of land. He may not be able to develop, or he may not have the resources available to develop that property. He gets somebody who has the resources, the financial capability to develop, and they come together, they value the land and know the worth of the land. So the worth of the land becomes the equity contribution for that investment, and the person bringing funds will also value, and they know what they are, value the funds he's bringing, so that they will know the equity contribution and how they are going to share profit. Most times they share profit based on the equity they contributed in the ratio of their partnership contribution. So if you have a land that you may not have the enough resources to develop, you can use it as a JV. Can go into a JV partnership and use the land as an equity in that JV. At the end of the day, there is an agreed sharing formula, usually based on your equity contribution. So when you put in when you now enter JV agreements, whatever you agreed upon is what will now be used in the sharing of the proceeds. So it's another good way of real estate investment. Okay, there is also land investments, just land speculation, real estate land speculation investment. If you don't want to involve yourself in residential real estate development or commercial real estate development or real estate investment trust, REITs, or even real estate crowdfunding, you don't want to do that, and you don't also want to do JV or joint venture partnership with your land. Michael Olatunji Adeoye, thanks for joining us. I hope you'll be able to gain one or two. We are talking about different types of real estate investment. So as we are talking about that, you can also ask your questions. It's a time for us to also answer one or two questions involving real estate investment. So we've talked about residential real estate investment. We've looked at commercial real estate investment. We have looked at real estate investment trust, REITs. We've talked about real estate crowdfunding, and we just finished talking about real estate partnerships, where you can partner with one or two people to develop your land or also invest. So now we're talking about land investment, land banking. Some people call it land banking. So if you don't want to invest in any of the aforementioned types of real estate investment, you can go into land speculation. People call it land banking. What it means is that you have some amount of money you want to spend, you purchase land, especially a land that is of low value or low amount, low price land, then you allow it for some time, speculating that in the near future the value of that land will increase. Then when the value increases, or when development eventually comes, then you now sell and make your profit when the land would have appreciated. So that is land investment or land speculation. Under land investment, you can also buy real estate lands for agricultural purpose. You can buy a vast area of land just for the purpose of planting some commercial crops, or for farmland, anything that will yield or will appreciate with a fraction of time. So basically, you are not developing the land, but what you are doing is to buy the land, keep for speculative purposes for a future date. It can be 4 years, it can be 5 years, it can be any time your patience can carry you. Of course, you know that real estate or land does not depreciate. Land is one of those assets that doesn't depreciate unless there is earthquake on that land. As far as there is no earthquake on that land, it's only earthquake that can make a land depreciate, or you can say that this land has depreciated. But if there is no earthquake on that land, land will keep appreciating with a fluctuation of time. Whether you build on that land or you don't, whether you develop that land or not, as long as the land is good, it will definitely depreciate. It will definitely appreciate. It doesn't depreciate. Some people also buy land just to, invest in timber. Timber, I will also classify it like agriculture. They can buy a vast area of land, just plant trees, like forest, allow it for a long, period of time, and later start harvesting the timber, harvesting the trees for other developmental purposes. Okay, there are actually more types of real estate investments. Some of them are not common in Nigeria, in our clime, but in developed countries, there is what we call real estate notes. It's like a mortgage financing facility paper that you can invest in. Over time, the value of that note will increase. It's a financial paper that can be given to you by a financial institution when they invest in real estate mortgages. So your own is more like shares, but not like the primary buying, or like the real buying of shares. Then I also want to say that apart from the regular residential commercial, there are areas we call special purpose real estate investment. You can go to a place where you have school and build hostels for students where they can live during the school and vacate during holidays. You can build senior homes for retirement benefits of elderly people. You can also get a land to build hospitals. So those kind of real estate investments come under special real estate or special purposes real estate investments. I want to say that real estate is for everybody. You can start small. It's not, you don't have to be big, you don't have to be very rich for you to invest in real estate. No, you don't. You can start small. You can even buy land in your village and leave it to appreciate for some time. There are lots of people, there are testimonies of people that bought real estate and allowed it for a long period of time before selling off. So when we talk about real estate investments, people ordinarily think you must have billions or millions, hundreds of millions in your account before you invest in real estate, but that's not how it works. You can actually buy or invest in real estate based on the amount you have. It depends on the location. Of course, the location matters a lot in real estate investment, but the location will not deter you from investing in where your funds can actually carry. If your funds cannot allow you to invest in Maitama, Abuja, you can invest in Kubwa, you can invest in Kuje, you can invest in Wagwalada, you can invest in Katampe Extension. So if you cannot at the immediate time invest in prime locations, you can invest in rural areas, you can invest in local lands. But by all means, try as much as possible to plug in your funds in one or two real estate investment, because real estate is one of the basic needs of human being. And like we know, there is always population explosion. There is huge housing deficits in the world. Using Nigeria as example, we are more than 250 million citizens. The population is more than 250 million and it keeps increasing every year. And we have a lot of housing deficit. So imagine the way the population is increasing, that's the way shelter or real estate is in need. Wherever you invest, whether in your village or in the cities, even though the cities will give you high returns on investment over time, but it doesn't mean even the real estate in the village will not give you. So just like what we discussed now, even if you buy a land in the village, you may use it for agricultural purposes as it waits. You can turn it to a forest where you can use to harvest timber whenever you are ready to develop it. So investing in real estate does not necessarily mean that you must develop immediately. It must not be high-end property. There is high-end luxury property, there is mid-class, there is low-end. So whichever one your money carries, the amount of money you have will be able to carry, then by all means invest in that. You know, it will help you and also give you huge returns on investment. Thank you, John Azozo Mayoga. Thank you for joining us in this live session. And we are talking about different types of real estate investments. And we have looked at different types of real estate investment that can be of benefit to you. It's also a session where you can ask one or two questions surrounding or regarding real estate investment. For the benefit of those that have just joined, we talked about residential real estate investment, and we said that this is a type of real estate investment where you develop to live or where you develop to rent, and make rental income. It's basically for living. People live under this kind of investment. You can build single family rentals, multiple properties. It could be for vacation, it could be for land for house flipping. You can buy residential houses, renovate them and sell or rent and make your money as the property appreciates. Then we also talked about commercial real estate investment, and we said this type of real estate investment is basically for office use. The kind of houses or developments where you see offices are located, shops are located, plazas are located, just basically for business purposes. Then we looked at real estate investment trusts, REITs. It's called REIT. Real estate investment trust is a kind of investment opportunity where funds are pulled together. It's more like selling of shares. But you want to invest in real estate, but you don't have enough money to buy real estate on your own. So the company that is issuing real estate investment trust will now get certified by and get approval by from Securities and Exchange Commission. Once they issue out those trusts, you buy, depending on the amount you want. As they pay dividends at the end of the year, you will receive your returns through dividends as a way of rental income or property appreciation. So what they do is to collect funds from different individuals, just the way companies sell shares. Then we looked at real estate crowdfunding. It's just a pool of funds coming to put together by friends to invest in property and thereafter sell or get rental income as the property appreciates and thereafter share. So it's more like real estate investment trust, but it's not approved by SEC. This one is just pulling of funds together. We also looked at real estate JVs, joint ventures, partnerships, people coming together. Maria Peter, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. So we looked at joint ventures as a veritable way of also investing in real estate, more especially if you have a land, you don't have enough money to develop it. You can go into partnership with a company, with a developer, or with an individual that has the funds to develop. So what you usually do is that you come into JV, joint venture agreement. You enter into joint venture agreement, agree on what and what to do. Usually the way it works is that the value of the land will form as your equity. The value of the land will form as your equity as the landowner, whereas the person bringing the funds will now bring the funds as his own. At the end of the day, you agree on how you share your profits or how you share the development, but it's usually based on the equity contribution that you brought to table. So if you have a land, you don't have money to develop, you must not keep quiet and say you don't have anything. You can actually, find somebody who has money or find developers who can develop the land, and you go into joint venture. You go into partnership. Nnamdi Benson, welcome and thanks for joining us. So if you have any questions on real estate investment, you can also ask. Then we also went to talk about land flipping or land investments. A lot of people buy land for speculative purposes. You can actually buy portions of land at different places depending on how much you have. It must not be high-end or premium lands or very expensive lands. Even if you don't have money to buy it at expensive places, you can actually buy land at rural areas or less developed areas. The mindset of this kind of investment is for speculative purpose. You are just buying the land and keeping it for some number of years for the land to appreciate, then you sell, or for development to come to that area, then you sell. And you must have in mind that land does not depreciate. Land does not depreciate. Land is the only asset in the world that does not depreciate. In fact, the only thing that can make land lose its value or reduce its value is earthquake. Once there is no earthquake on that land, land will always appreciate over years. So when you buy land, you can leave it undeveloped, usually and under the undeveloped land, and leave it for some number of years and expect that the land will be able to develop and appreciate, then you sell it. Amadi Henry, thank you for joining us. We're talking about types of real estate investment. So under the land investment, you can also buy land for agricultural purpose. You can buy a land to, plant different commercial crops. Some crop that that will yield good potentials. It may not be crops, but just different agricultural purposes. Then I also said that some people can buy land to grow timber. You can buy land, just a forest, grow different trees, and leave it for a number of years. At the end of the day, they will cut the trees and use for timber for other development. So land flipping is a very major type of real estate investment. So land flipping must not be in the cities. Even in your village, even if you don't have enough money to buy in the cities, you can buy as your money, as your funds permits you, even in the village. So there is no excuse for not investing in real estate. I also talked about special purpose real estate investments, where some people invest in students' homes, hostels, hospitals, and some other special facilities. So, but whatever it is, I encourage us to invest in real estate in one way or the other. Our level of investment will be greatly based on the funds available to us and the risk we are ready to take. Of course, real estate is not something that you buy now, and you want your money to come, you want return on investment to come immediately. So you have to allow some passage of time. So if you have any question on real estate investments, you'll be free to ask so that we'll be able to trash them. Also remember that warehouses, manufacturing purposes, and all those fall under that commercial real estate investment. Okay, that's a brief rundown or a brief introduction to different types of real estate investments that you can plug yourself into. So, till when we have another opportunity to come live and discuss one on one, I would say thank you for joining us, and we're going to call it a day for now. So, what I will enjoy you to do is follow me, follow my page, God's Philomena Messi, follow my page, Igwe Real Estate is there. Invite people, share, so that people will get enlightened to know the importance of investing in real estate. All of us are living somewhere. Even if you are paying rent, you must not continue to pay rent. One day you will aspire to live in your own house or and also earn money, through real estate investment. So it's always in the trend. It can never go out of fashion. As long as human beings are being born, real estate is as important as food. As much as you eat, you will also want to have shelter over your head. So you can see that it is very important, and over time it has been certified to be one of the most basic needs of human beings. So why don't you take the opportunity you have to invest in real estate? So for now, thank you very much for joining us, and do like, share, and follow my page. Enjoy your day.